Pennsylvania Avenue, a pretty little spot on the famous Boardwalk strip. Spectacular sights, a booming economy, a short-line railroad in your very own backyard. The most beautiful place I've ever been. Who would have thought a guy from Mediterranean Avenue could come this far? I could have settled with a decent home in St. Charles Place, but I saved. I saved and saved until fate had brought me where I wanted to be. With $320, the deed to my paradise was signed to me. Pennsylvania Avenue was mine. My whole life I had been moving from one place to the next. For once, I just wanted to stay put. But some things never change. As usual, I didn't know where I would find myself next. But I did know one thing: to avoid Boardwalk. Of course, the hotels, bars, and casinos seem appealing, but I heard far too many horror stories of men losing their life savings in a single night. After the big purchase I had just made, I would have been wiped clean. Anything but Boardwalk. Anything but Boardwalk. Not Boardwalk. Not Boardwalk. Not Boardwalk. I had to mortgage almost everything. With $50 to my name, it was all over for me. I couldn't believe it. $200 just sitting there. That's when I made a promise to myself. I would reclaim Pennsylvania Avenue. I would return to the Boardwalk Strip. I found myself in a familiar sight. Home never really changes. The family business still doing well, but never really flourishing. Let's just say, in these parts, $2 can get you a long way. With that in mind, I wondered what $250 would do. I went to work on the business. When the work was done, I was on the move again. That's when I ran into a familiar face on Baltic Avenue. She was a guest. She would often stay at Baltic to enter the local beauty pageant. Out of the 5 times she's entered, she's always won second place. If I were the judge, she'd always be first. Like me, she grew up on the Connecticut Strip. And like me, she was also living off her last dollars. $10 cash winnings from beauty pageants and a small business on Vermont Avenue don't get you very far here. That would be the last time I ever saw her again. Because if you don't have money in this world, it's as if you just disappear. Business was taking a turn back at home. My most recent guest was the owner of 2 utility companies and had paid $250 for her stay. Without a hesitation, I invested into the business on Baltic Avenue, leaving nothing in my pocket. I would soon learn that was the biggest gamble I had ever taken. As I left the Connecticut Strip, I visited an old friend who, like most of my other friends, was down on his luck. My old buddy told me of the injustice he saw in jail. He'd been there as long as I can remember. But others, they would come and go without even making bail, as if someone had given them a free ticket out. But he told me something strange. He liked it there. When I asked why, all he would say is, "It's safe." And that's when I saw it. The board had changed. The New York Strip had hotels and houses everywhere. A guy with a bank account like mine wouldn't last. But I had to move forward. I had to get to the Boardwalk Strip, see the sights from Pennsylvania Avenue just one more time. Off I went, and it didn't look good. One trip to St. James or Tennessee, and I'd be a goner. For once, luck was on my side. A bank error in my favor, and I was $200 richer. Still not enough to safely get around, but it was one step closer to getting my place in Pennsylvania back. Apparently, luck comes in pairs. Two brothers stayed at my place in Baltic and put down nearly $1,000. They were wealthy businessmen who each owned half of the shares in the railroad business. Of course, neither brother would be satisfied with just half. Brotherly love. I was close to visiting my paradise just one more time. But the closer I got, the higher the prices got, and the more it looked like I wasn't going to make it. Luckily, I had come across some money. Call it luck, but I had a knack for finding unclaimed money in the strangest places. I thought about turning the money in at first, but with the Marvin Garden strip ahead and people going bankrupt on all corners of the board, I kept it. Who would have needed it more than me? I had made a huge mistake. When I told the officer where I had found the money, he said, "That's not what free parking is for." They took the money and put me away. That's when I realized I would never see Pennsylvania Avenue again. I've never stayed put in one place before. It felt strange. My old buddy wasn't there anymore, but I remembered what he said about jail. It's safe. I finally understood. In here, you don't owe anything. In here, you don't have to worry where you'll go next. In here, you have nothing to lose. I had been in jail for a while when I got my first visitor. I couldn't believe it. I was face to face with the man who had driven me nearly bankrupt. The wealthiest man on the board, with at least 2 hotels on every strip. He came to buy Pennsylvania Avenue from me. It would complete his monopoly on the Boardwalk strip. Why not? I would never see it again anyway. But then, I thought, I could wait here until I disappear. Or I could take my chances. I was back where I wanted to be. But something felt different this time. There was no force pushing me forward. I didn't have to leave my paradise. It was that feeling again. I felt safe.